We often hear, particularly when we watch the world's best players on the PGA Tour, we often hear that golf is 90% mental and only 10% physical. And I have a little bit of an issue with that, particularly the amount of times that people say it. Could encourage amateur golfers that really struggle to hit the ball well, to convince themselves that their slice or their topping the ball or their three putting is not a physical issue, it's a mental issue. Because I've heard on the TV that McIlroy's game is 90% mental and only 10% physical. And I would argue that it is if the 10% physical is 100% perfect. So McIlroy has, let's say, a perfect golf swing. He can stand on a driving range, hitting every single shot he wants, every single target he wants, holding all the putts. Then he goes on the golf course and shoots 80. And you go, well, why did that happen? Well, a mental change happened. You know, the difference between the best round at Augusta you ever shoot and then a shocking round at Augusta. Physically, you're the same person. It was only a day later, 2 days later. What changed? Well, something mental changed. And at that level, you could argue golf is more mental than it is physical. But at most club golfers' levels, if you're slicing the golf ball out of bounds, that's not because of a mental issue. That's because physically you're producing and presenting the club to the back of the ball with slicing characteristics. A path, a club face, a spin pattern on that ball that's making the ball do what it's doing. You can't think a slice straighter into a straight shot or a draw. You have to make some physical and fundamental changes. So let's understand that the mental game is important, but it's not the be-all and end-all of making the right golf swing. If you've got good swing mechanics and you can hit the ball down the middle, down the middle, down the middle on the driving range, but then as soon as you get a card in your hand, things go to pot, the score tots up, you get nowhere near your handicap. That's when we'd have to look at the mental side of the game. Now, my one big tip for you mentally is to try and make sure you stay a nice, even level of emotion. We often see golfers have big emotional swings on the golf course. They start off really nervous, really excited, really talkative, really rushing around. Then they have a bit of a bad couple of holes and mentally everything just drains out of them. They've got no energy. They stop talking to everybody. They get angry. They get depressed with themselves. Maybe they hole a birdie putt and suddenly they're back to life again. Or, you know, we've all had that situation where you get waved through by the group in front, don't you? And suddenly it's nervous again because there's an extra 4 people watching you and you don't hit the ball particularly well. So try and work on a mental approach where you keep nice and calm all the way through. You react to a double bogey and a birdie in the same way. You understand that a golf round is 4 hours, it's 18 holes, it's a long day. If you're playing a 36 or a 72 hole competition, it's an even longer outing, and we don't want to have an emotional roller coaster. Just try and keep yourself nice and level and calm, and understand that the mental game is a big factor in the game of golf, but it's not the be all and end of everything.